Recession is on the mind for everybody right now. Inflation fears, recession fears. The Fed is raising rates to fight inflation. Guys, raising rates will slow down the economy. But let's not be reactionary. Let's look at it and say, okay, if you're worried about a recession, what does that mean? This is the Atlanta Fed. They make their estimates on GDP. Right now, their current estimate is a negative 2.1% growth rate. That is a recession, right? I mean, granted, the technical definition of recession is 2 quarters in a row of negative GDP growth. Right now, I think we've only had 1 month or 1 quarter. But what does this mean for you as an investor? It's easy to get excited and get upset and say, oh my God, a recession's hit, my stocks are going to fall. Yeah, that very well could be the case. That probably will be the case when the government finally says we're in a recession. Does it feel like a recession right now? Depends who you ask. A lot of the numbers come out there and we see, some slowdown in the economy. We look at consumer sentiment is at very, very low levels. And remember, consumer spending is 70% of GDP. So if consumer sentiment going forward is bad, that means people are less likely to spend. They're going to want to save their money in case a recession occurs. But for you, the average person on YouTube looking to learn about investing, my guess is you probably do a good job saving your money and staying within budget. Because if you had no money, why would you go learn about investing, right? So for you, you're probably doing a good job. Stay the course, maybe save a little bit more. It might slow down the economy, but what you're here worried about is making sure you're safe if something happens. So if you're new to this channel, I'm Paul. And we have a long list of over 1,600 videos that you can watch. You talk about my consistent views on the economy and investing. I'm never trying to get you to change your life dramatically to react to every small bit of news. So if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and share the video with somebody who has questions about the economy and recessions. So back to the recession. Now, whether we're in one or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you think about your current job. Your job could be okay in a recession, right? If your job is safe, if you're new to your job, go find out how the company did in past recessions, how they do during the COVID recession, which was an absolute anomaly of a recession. But go look at the Great Recession, go look at the early 2000s recession, go figure out how they did during those times. That'll probably give you an indicator of whether you should be worried or not. 2, be the most important person at your company. Be the most reliable person at your company. If your bosses need you, they will not fire you unless they absolutely have to. So go be that person. Also, save your money. Live within your means. If you live within your means, it's easier to cut back your spending when times are tough. If you live within your means, you might be able to decrease your savings a little temporarily while you pay your bills if there's a recession and you're worried about your job and your hourly wage and all that stuff. But remember also, we have inflation. Inflation will drive up incomes over time. And recessions are good for getting rid of crappy companies and crappy employees. You're not a crappy employee is my guess. So if you're not a crappy employee, a lot of times companies will have extra. Think about it this way. If you're a business owner and you have 20 employees and you realize, oh crap, I got to get rid of 20% of them. That's 4 employees. Are you going to get rid of your 4 best employees or your 4 worst employees? Think about it that way. So don't be one of the 4 worst employees. When you're being chased by a bear, all you need to do is be able to outrun the last guy in the chain. Be the 5th worst employee or better, right? Now, there's some guys chuckling here in the studio, but it's true. But of course, try to be the best employee you can be. If you just say you're the best employee and don't just say those words, be that word. Go to your bosses right now before recession hits and say, hey, how can I be more valuable to the company? Don't tell them why you're saying that, but go do it. So save your money, be a valuable employee, live well within your means. This is a reality. This could well happen. Whatever is going to happen out there, I just want you to go back over the last 250 years of our history. There have been lots of recessions, really bad ones, world wars, assassinations, every bad thing imaginable has possibly happened. Terrorist attacks, and guess what? We end up better. Recessions can be the best thing that happened to you and to your company and to the United States of America. It weeds out crap. Just like illness weeds out bad disease in your body so you can get better, same thing with recession. Now you might sit there and say, Paul, that's not fair. Great people lose their jobs. I know that. It happens. And for people like that, I really feel sorry for. but it also gives them a chance to reset and learn from that and say, I'm not going to rely on my company in the future. And how many recessions laid people off and they ended up creating businesses of their own that ended up being very successful? We don't know what the future is going to hold. We have no idea. We can look at the things we see right now, and we see bad numbers, and we see inflation, and we see gas prices at all-time highs, and we see all these negative things. I'm not saying it's a great work. I'm not saying people are wrong about that. But what I'm saying is your job is to be the best version of yourself and your personal finances and your job. That is your job. If you continue to do that, you will continue to be successful, whether times are good or times are bad. Great employees and great investors aren't only good when times are good. They're really good when times are bad. That's what sets them apart. Everyone is a genius during a bull market. Everyone is a great employee and in demand during an employment boom. The number of people I've seen when they're like switching job to job during this last 2 years because demand's been so high for employees, I'm like, how are they getting 30% increases in pay? They're idiots. But guess what? The power was in the employer's hand for a long time. Now it's swung to the employee's hand. If a recession hits, guess where it's going to swing? Back a little bit closer to the employer's hand. That's what happens during recessions. And it all goes back and forth, and eventually the best grow to the top, the cream rises to the top, and the crap sinks. Okay? So you have to decide for yourself. Are you the cream or are you the crap? Again, my guess is if you're watching this video and take enough time to watch a video about investing and about personal finance and about recessions, you're probably one of the better people out there. But go a step further. Be even more important to your job. That is the best thing you can do. When I taught at my high school for 8 years on the side for fun, investing in business class, the first thing I told the kids was make sure you're the most important person for your job and for your boss. They will never get rid of you if they do, unless they absolutely have to. And in that situation, you'll probably get a job very quickly. There's no such thing as a bad salesperson. There's no such thing as a good salesperson who's unemployed. Same thing with a productive person. If you're productive, you will always be employed, even during bad times. So again, if you like this video, please watch our next one. Don't confuse lower prices with a stock being on sale. Thanks again. Like and subscribe.